Hello everyone, can you guys hear me? Do I sound okay? Do I sound good? Hello everyone. Do I sound okay? Do I sound good? Hello? Does I sound fine? Hopefully I sound fine. I actually had to reset my Windows, so hopefully everything sounds good. Sweet. How you guys doing? It's been a week. Today there's two things I want to talk about, which is a alternative to SoundID, and then the other thing is I wanted to last time I had some trouble showing off the MiniFreak because of all the camera setup, and I've actually taken the time to properly get a setup here with nice lighting and everything. I was looking into maybe getting like a real-time upscaler, like an AI upscaler to use for Streamlabs OBS, but gotta struggle with that because my Sony a6000 can only output like 1080p. Always sounding nice. That's great to hear. Sounds good. Sounds good. OTT. So yeah, the first thing I want to mention is the SoundID alternative that I found, and it's surprisingly powerful. So what I'll do is I'll switch the screen, and so you can see my camera. So I'll switch it to, I believe it's screen. There you go. You guys can see everything. Everything's clean. Now I'm actually using my DLSR, I guess you could say. And you can see my hands getting nice and depth of field-ish. But yeah, this is once again the MiniFreak. Now with a much better setup, a lot more stable, as you can see. There's still a little bit of wobbliness to it, but it should be a much higher quality than we had last time. And then the other thing is, guys can hear the audio very easily because it's all going through one single audio output, which is Qudelix 5K. And I wanted to show you guys what this thing is. Today, color nails tutorial. What is that? Oh, because of the. Sweet. So you can see most of the MiniFreak because it's very large, right? There's a lot of space. There's still space over here and still some space over here. Now you should be able to see most of it. This actually has lower res than my phone, but as you can see, the quality of the camera kind of makes a big difference here. It's just, you know, higher quality essentially. Hello, Kale Roz. So the one thing I wanted to show you guys, and I'm gonna keep playing this thing in the background because I forgot to put it on loop. So I'm gonna make that a little quieter. All right. So the one thing that I wanted to show you guys, and this is I've been kind of researching about this for a long time, is this guy. So I'm gonna try and pull this a little bit. This guy right here. This is the try and put this right here. Which side? I guess it doesn't matter. I'm gonna try and focus on that. Wish me luck. So this is the. Oh, there we go. Maybe you can read that. You see, it should be this way around. Is that readable somewhat? Ah, there we go. It says Qudelix. So it's a Qudelix. I believe that's it. LIX, yes. And this guy is now essentially my output for my headphones. So as you can see, well, these are my headphones, right? This is the III TMA2. Wait, 5 steps, relax, okay? Calm your horses. This is the receiver, oh no, that's actually not the receiver, it's the adapter that sends out a 2.4 gigahertz signal to my headphones, which are these. I can actually just take them off right now. 1 second. So let me make sure. Everything gets super dusty in here. This is the headphones that I have. These are the, it says right here, the III TMI2 wireless plus, I guess you could say. And the great part about these is that they are wireless. Once again, they're high quality wireless. The AC quality, I believe, so lossless audio, which is awesome. So this is the thing that sends out the signal going into this little guy right here, which is the Qudelix 5K. Now, the reason why I use this thing, and the reason why I don't use my output from my why I don't use my complete ASIO interface is, first of all, I don't use speakers at the moment, and second of all, it's because this guy essentially acts as a, and I'm just going to put it right here, this guy acts as a DAC. So it's essentially just a digital to analog converter. So the quality headphone-wise that you get out of this is pretty much the same as you can get from like an interface, or from most interfaces. It can go up to 96 kilohertz, and I'm using 44.1 kilohertz. Currently 24 bits, so it's very high quality, but the main reason why I'm using this is because of what's built into this bad boy, and that is the built-in parametric equalizer with 20 bands. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to copy over this capture device. Oh, I actually don't have to. I'm going to switch the screen. Actually have the app open here too. DAC amp, there we go. I'll switch the screen. There you go. That's this one. So this is the Qudelix 5K right here. Let me see if I can learn more, I guess. And essentially what makes this thing special is the equalizer that is built in. The amp, I don't care so much for. Obviously, it makes things louder, which is good. But this equalizer is real time and has up to 20 bands. And what makes that special is, as you can see, this is the phone app right here. But you can actually get a browser extension, and I'm currently using it on Edge. And you can see my device is currently connected. And what I can do is I can go to the DSP setting. So this is the digital signal processor. And I can go to one of these auto EQ presets, which are essentially handcrafted reference curves for your headphones to make them sound more flat. And so what I did is, as you can see, there's tons. Yours is probably going to be in here. I have the III TMH2 HD wireless. This is essentially the same thing because the driver's the same and the ear cushionings or the ear pads are the same. Then I just click on that, import the EQ, and then I just further kind of mangled with it because it's only audio EQ presets tend to only use 10 bands. So I'm using up to 14 bands right here, as you can see. And this literally sounds like using SoundID, essentially. And if anything, this is much higher quality when it comes to the amount of processing that's happening. Simply because we're using less bands in here compared to something like SoundID. I'm guessing they're using like up to 90 bands or something. So they're adding one like band of phase rotation, whatever percentage that would be for each band, which is, for some cases, like let's say the high end is less detailed anyways, so you don't need so much detail in the high end, but they're still going to EQ the high end quite a lot. With just 14 bands, we have the minimal amount of phase rotation happening. So obviously minimum phase. Once again, you don't really want to put a real-time EQ onto your headphones, but this is a solution. So I'm only using 14 bands, and now these sound exactly the same, if not better than what they sounded like before with SoundID. And I can also further push the volume here, so I have an extra amp. And what's great about all of this, is that this is not software. It's technically software, but it's not happening. It's not happening on Windows. So I can just close the Qudelix app, and this guy will essentially then save whatever preset you did, and the EQ will be happening inside of this thing. And this is something that is very, 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 very rare to get. Is like a DSP that does equal like parametric EQ with the intention of you know, fixing reference curves. So this is what I got, and once you have this firmware updated, once you have the EQ set up, you will never ever have to touch this thing again. You just plug it in with a USB-C cable, and you're good to go. So yeah, and it's the only alternative that I found that was reasonably priced and had a reasonable amount of features, especially with the input compensation. So one of the issues is, and I can kind of show you this on here, 5 steps. You're talking very like hypothetically, right? Like not everyone's that well versed with DSP and especially programming all that stuff. That's kind of like saying, yeah, you could just build your own computer from scratch as well to do everything that you want. But like, it doesn't quite work like that. But it would be great. I mean, if you want to do that and then sell it for cheap, please do, because there's not a lot of people who do it. I would love to see something like this, and I hope that this actually opens up a discussion about this kind of thing, because having something that is like Windows based is so annoying, because Windows can just, you know, release an update, and I don't know if how many of you guys actually use SoundID, but it's buggy. It's actually really buggy, and it's really annoying that you have to have like a system-wide SoundID, and then you have to have a VST too, right, on your master if you're using a SIO. And the great thing is about this as well is that you have, for example, like a pre-gain. So usually if I were to boost the sub here, this is what it would look like. And I would be clipping digitally, but I can actually compensate for that. And I haven't really noticed any clipping at all either. And the cool part is, once again, I can do changes in here. And you guys won't hear these changes. I don't think I can push it to 20. But yeah, it won't let me push it to 20. I don't think I can even push it. No, I can turn. I can definitely turn it up. You guys can't hear any of this. So it's just on my end, which is like the big reason why this is really powerful, is because you're now not like dependent on any kind of software that's built onto your DAW or like your OS. It's all happening in a device. Yeah, if someone were to make like that stuff open source, I would love that. Like you're onto something here, because no one has done it yet. That's the big issue that I found, is like just searching online, no one has done this, what the Qudelix can do. And this is obviously not really designed to be used for like producers. But I think, and I kind of promoted this a little bit on Twitter, is that this thing is going to come in handy for anyone just using headphones. Because if you don't have like an audio interface, and you're not planning on using speakers, and you're not planning on using like a microphone input, this might just be it. You set it up once, you update the firmware once, you set your EQ once, and then you're ready to go. It's that simple. You just plug it in, then it's an output on your Windows, and you're ready to go. And does anybody know a way to recreate serums, refilter, and right? No, probably not. But yeah, I can also change the volume here, of course, on this side. But yeah, this is obviously a little expensive, but it's the least expensive thing I found. That's the important part. It's the least expensive thing I found online for what I can do. Because 20 bands is a lot. You get a lot for the price there, for what's currently offered. The other option that you have when it comes to speakers, there is another option that you guys have, which is the MiniDSP 2x4 HD. I'm going to share my main screen again, because I don't have it, because I'm not using speakers. I can guarantee this is way tougher to implement than it seems, especially when hardware is involved. Yeah, like you have to have a whole DAC to be able to do all this stuff. But this is the MiniDSP 2x4 HD. And this is essentially the same thing as the Qudelix, except it's for speakers, and it only has 10 bands. So what I would primarily use this for is for low-end room mode kind of EQ correction. So as you can see, I think I'll have some pictures. Do they have some pictures anywhere? Not on here. But let me see, maybe. Yeah, there you go. So this is essentially the same thing as this little Qudelix, except it's for your speakers. So you can see you have inputs right here. And I wish the Qudelix would actually do the same thing and not even use USB, because that would be great. But it's fine if it's using USB and it's just used as a like speaker, I guess, like an output. So what this does is you have two inputs for left and right speaker, and then you have your outputs out one and out two. So this will essentially just process the audio that's coming through here. And what's really cool about that is that you get this EQ that you can then, you know, do your own bands with. You can change it to high shelf, low shelf, peak, whatever you want. And you have 10 bands, which doesn't sound like a lot, but usually just to fix like the low end of your speaker or like of your room, it's totally enough. I think my Pro Q3 preset was like 4 bands. That was totally enough. I can also show you guys, if you're interested, how you could actually like correct the low end in your room to some degree, of course, because you can never completely fix it because it's decay based, not resonance based. But even though that's also kind of decay. But yeah, this is essentially the solution for, and once again, 5steps is completely right. This stuff could probably be way easier to do, or for cheaper at least. This is the only alternative that I found that is the cheapest for speakers. So if you want to correct your room and you don't want to use SoundID because it's annoying and they constantly have to update it because Windows keeps, you know, messing with it. In my end, SoundID was like crashing. It would like not output the right audio. I would get clicks and pops and all that kind of stuff. Also instability in certain games for some reason. This thing is for speakers. You set up the EQ once, you load it onto the device, and then you never have to connect it to your Windows PC ever again. Then you just connect your speaker cables in there. Then on the other side, you route them to your speakers from your interface, essentially. So interface into in 1 and in 2, and output goes into your speakers, and then boom, you're done. And then the same goes for the Qudelix. You essentially just have input with USB-C, output is your headphones, and bam, you're done. And you have your room correction, you have your headphone correction happening in hardware as a DSP and not in software. Quite expensive, I would say. Qudelix is like 130 euros, and obviously the MiniDSP is like 240 euros. So if you're serious about like good headphone quality, and if you're serious about good speaker quality inside of your room, if you really want to use it, because it can otherwise cost you thousands to just fix the low end in a like literally thousands. Like you guys don't know like how expensive just bass traps are. Like proper bass traps, they're super expensive, and they're designed to fix both resonance and decay. But if you use this, you can fix at least one of the things, which is the resonance. You can't fix the decay per se, so you're still going to have standing waves, but you're not going to have these dips and I guess creases, like these bells and the opposite. You know, like peaks and notches, essentially what's happening, right? This fixes that, and then the Qudelix fixes your headphones, which is great. Now wishing I didn't buy reference ID 2 weeks ago. Well, look, if it works for you, that's totally good. But if you guys are experiencing issues, it might be good to like invest into the Qudelix or the MiniDSP if you're using speakers. What headphones would you suggest for dubstep production? Any, really. Like, it doesn't matter as long as you have that EQ correction happening. And, for example, if you go with a Beyerdynamic, you could go onto this list on Qudelix, and you could go to the B section and search for Beyerdynamic, for example, DT990s. You have them in here. You have the DT770, 32 ohm, 250 ohm. You essentially have everything here. You have pretty much any headphones that you can think of are in here, because I think this is a list from GitHub. How's the sub and kick transients? Great, it sounds awesome. Now when I turn this off, and it's currently connected so I can turn it off, it sounds like a soda can. When I turn it on, it's actually clean and I can hear everything in the mix. because this EQ curve especially fixes the low end and removes a lot of that like messy 200 hertz stuff, which is great. Can you show us how to fix the low end in ProQ? All right, I can show you. Yeah, for sure. Also, another thing that comes with this whole thing is this little guy here. So this, and you guys should be able to see everything, is Flex SIO. You guys can get Flex SIO from Flex SIO. You guys can get Flex SIO from GitHub right here. Then you can download the latest version, install it, and then on top of that, because this thing doesn't come with a GUI, you can go to the Flex SIO GUI page, download that and install it. And then you just need this dependency, because I guess open source stuff can't come with like these kinds of things. So you download this thing here, .NET 6.0. Usually I recommend you go to this section right here and then download it here. And then you have a GUI and you have a Flex SIO driver. As you can see currently, I have Windows Wasapi. Using Windows Wasapi, I have a buffer size of 256. Microphone coming in, speakers, Qudelix 5K. So these are my, my corrected headphones. And output latency is 0, input latency is 0, so there's no additional latency, and then the buffer size is 256, and that leaves me with roughly 50 milliseconds of latency, which is quite a lot. So this is the only thing that you're trying is, with the Flex SIOs, the latency is pretty high, but then again, you're able to use any outputs. You're able to use any inputs, and it's much, much better still than the default MME DirectX drivers, especially like once you go to like 1024, like we can type in 1024. I'm not going to do that right now because I don't want to mess with this. Once you go up there, your Ableton is going to stabilize like crazy. But yeah, so when it comes to room correction, what you guys need to do is I'm going to add a new MIDI channel. That wasn't a return channel. Oops. I can't really access my keyboard all that well. Go over here with operator. So you want to use operator to test your low end in your room, right? So if I add more MIDI clips right here, I'm going to add a note, and what you guys want to do is you want to set this first operator here, this sine wave, you want to set it to fixed. And we want to start down from like 30 hertz. It depends on if you guys have a sub. If you guys don't have a sub, then you don't really need to go that low. But what you want to essentially do is you want to automate this position up to, let's say, 300 hertz. That's roughly the area that's going to cause the most muddiness. And then when you play it, you guys can hear. And I'm going to turn off the music here in a second. Shut up. There you go. You guys can hear. You guys should be able to hear all of this. You guys hearing this? This should be audible, right? That's another great thing. Routing is a lot simpler now on my system because with FlexSI, OBS can actually take the audio in, which is great. So I don't have to do any weird routing because of SoundID anymore, which is amazing. And once again, all the headphone correction is just happening on my Qudelix, so there's nothing on my PC. My PC is completely clean, and you could use any headphones now, as long as you have the reference curves on your Qudelix, which is great. So what's essentially happening is you can see that the volume for this sine wave, I'm going to make that a little louder, is the same loudness. So if I load up and say Pro Q3, so Q3, wait, I'm going to just do it like this. Pop filter Pro Q3. If I load that up, you guys can see, I'm going to put this, not that thing. I'm going to put the tilt to 1.5. This is the sine wave that are essentially just sweeping through, right? Now there's a little bit of a correction here in Pro Q. As you can see, it's going up a little bit, so you could completely turn that off if you wanted to. And what you want to do is you want to play this on your speakers, so on your speaker system. And then what you want to do is you want to find positions. For example, let's say on this position right here, that's like roughly 130 or 140. You're going to notice a big jump in volume in your room, right? Suddenly, like this is just like so loud. Like suddenly it's like this. So I'm kind of just simulating. Ignore the Pro Q3 and just listen to this. So if you get something like that, you know that there is a room mode in that specific frequency area. So what you want to do is you want to work against it and turn it down. So for example, let's just imagine, I'm going to just fake a room mode situation. So I'm going to do something like this. Let's make it a really ugly one and maybe like a really ugly one roughly over here. So now we have, essentially this is our room mode, right? This is how our room would sound. So if we were to play this, let's actually add another one to the bottom here, because I want to be very aggressive with this. Let's do another bell. Let's start, actually that should be fine. Let's move this one up a little bit, because 30 hertz is a little unrealistic. So usually room modes, if they're very, very aggressive, they will be much more precise and they will be a lot more extreme. So something like this. And you will see and hear, well, the thing is that you can't see it, right? If you do it in your room, you can't see it, you can only hear it. So just listen. There was one. There was another one. There was another one. And there was another one. So you can hear in which certain frequency area your room would essentially then resonate. And then what you do is you just take a Fab Filter Pro Q3, and then you would find those settings or those positions. So in this case, we can see it. So we know there was one there. There's maybe one there. And this is essentially just you just going back to this section and then listen. And now you can see how we're effectively kind of working against the resonance that we have in our room. Now, it's not going to be perfect, that's for sure, but it's going to be good enough to make it sound a million times better. And then once you have your curve, I think that we have another one up here. So roughly like that, right? Once you have our curve, we could then go on to, so we could either use that on the master, or you could get something like the MiniDSP 2x4 HD, and then just apply the same curves, the same peak curves onto this EQ, which is internal in this hardware device, send you speakers through that using cables. And now you have that same room correction, especially for the low end, because the high end is usually very easy to fix in a room using, you know, like acoustic panels, acoustic foam, very, very easy to do. But low end is extremely hard to do. So you could apply those, in this case, it's just 4 bands, and I think these can probably be a little bit more like that. You apply them onto this EQ, save it onto the MiniDSP, disconnect it from the PC, and then it's done. That's it. That's it. You don't have to think about it. That's the idea, is that you don't have to ever think about this again. With the Qudelix, I don't have to ever think about using SoundID on the master or like changing the output. Like, I don't have to think about these things anymore. And I think that's well worth the money. Can you use something else than Opera because I don't have LiveStream? Yeah, of course. You could use any synth. Like we could even use Serum, for example. You just find the curve, and like you can put this to maybe higher quality, and then put this to no tracking, sine wave. Turn it up until we find the position, which is like roughly 30 hertz. And then you would automate the pitch bend, for example, or anything like that, right? You can automate the coarse pitch to go up. We can even automate it inside Serum directly. Maybe like a lot slower, right? And that's how you kind of fix the low end in your room. That's essentially it. Listen to. Do you hear these two strong resonances right here? So it's not perfect, but it's going to fix a lot of the issues that you have. And then you can have it in hardware. You can have this in hardware without spending thousands of euros or US dollars for like incredible, I guess, like room treatment. Obviously, that's still going to help, but this is going to give you that like sort of fundamental fix of like, yeah, these are the room modes. Let's fix them. Because even if you add like bass traps and stuff, you're still going to reintroduce other certain room modes. It's an endless fight, and that's why people spend like tens of thousands of dollars trying to fix all this kind of stuff. But yeah, so this is the Qudelix. Once again, I don't have the MiniDSP because I'm not using speakers. If I'm going to start using speakers again, I will absolutely get the MiniDSP because I cannot be bothered to use SoundID. Because you have really bad resonates in my room and it makes my tunes really, really bass heavy and muddy. Yeah, the easiest thing I've noticed is to just check out a bunch of kick drums, right? Just play a bunch of kick drums and see if they all sound the same. If they do, you definitely have like really strong room notes. And this will essentially just clean it all up for you. But yeah. What I wanted to do today, after that, right after Qudelix and after the whole talk about the MiniDSP, I wanted to go back to the MiniFreak and talk about a little bit about how you could properly use this, because last time we just kind of went through the presets and kind of checked out the oscillators, etc. This time around, I actually want to get practical with it and make some stuff. So would you guys be down if we make some drums first, then make some basses, and then actually design a little drop? And then we go into the intro. And maybe we can even use something like encoder to further, you know, mess with this stuff. The middle of the camera switch goes fire, fire. Yeah. So this is the MiniFreak. Hopefully everything's easy to see now. So this is a polyphonic stereo synth with, I think, roughly over 15 oscillators. I don't think I have any of my own presets on here, but this thing is... This thing is great. Do you guys want me to change the colors? Currently, it's kind of just going through any kinds of colors, but I can go change it to party mode. I mean, we need to turn up the distortion on that if we want the distortion to be... or I could obviously go with a different color because this is kind of nuts. We can go with green is maybe too much. This is purple. I like the red. Where's the red at? There we go. There we go. That looks great, right? You guys want to use that? I can also reposition this thing a little bit if it's... kind of have to position it. I don't think there's much positioning options. There we go. If it's annoying, I can also just turn it off and make it look all nice and cycles-ish. This is a great thing about the camera, about the DSLR. It looks really nice and clean. I think I can turn it down a notch as well. Like that, maybe. Less aggressive. Brown. Brown isn't a real color. That's just dark orange. Let's just make it... I think blue suits it very well. I think blue looks very nice. I'm going to put it away a little bit further. So the shadows are still incredibly sharp, but whatever. Now, I would say we could go ahead and start designing some sounds, right? And I'm only supposed to use what's in the MiniFreak. So we have 3 effects, we have 2 oscillators, so we can make some drums. I would say we start off with the kick drum. We can hear you breathing from your nose on the mic. Do you have a pop filter? I don't think that the pop filter would fix that, but I think my sensitivity is probably just very high. Is that a bit better? Should be a little quieter. I know I'm usually like I'm a heavy breather, like a mouth breather, whenever I am concentrated and stuff, especially in games. It gets really bad. I sound like I'm dying. Actually, let me try something real quick. All right, this is the first time I'm trying this out, but I'm going to use a nose breathing thingy. Say I kept putting on low frequency. Is that better? Hopefully that's better. Let me check on the stream. Hopefully that's better. All right. On the stream. Sounds pretty good. Hopefully that's better. All right. 1 second, I'll be right back.
But I mean so fucking so. I love great songs as well.
Oh shit, I forgot my headphones.
Shit.
Alrighty then. So, this thing is there we go. Come on, sweet. Okie dokie. It's not better for your nose? Am I still breathing heavily? Alright. Now, I'm gonna go with a clean preset. So that's just a good old saw wave. Let's go a little lower. Sweet. And we're going to start off with the first oscillator, which is going to be the sine wave. So finding a sine wave in here is not the easiest thing, funnily enough. I don't even think that basic waves has a normal sine wave, which is a bit odd. I think Harmo has a sine wave. Nope, that's not a sine wave. That's not a sine wave. That kind of sounds like a sine wave. Two upright FM should be. Yeah, that's clean. All right. Which synth is this? This is the Arturia MINIFREAK. It would be all the way on this side. You can see the MIN. I was breathing heavily, lol, but it's okay, bro. It's part of the stream. It's just like the sounds working here in the background is. Yeah, that's true. Cool. So we have a note, and we're gonna apply the. I believe we can just apply the cycling envelope. That should be fairly easy to do. We're gonna have this in envelope mode. And I'm going to send the cycling envelope to the matrix. I'm going to use the pitch, but this is on pitch 1 and 2. I only want to use one pitch. This is going to be the kick drum, right? So what I want to do is I'm going to use an assign knob here because I only want to change the pitch of one of them. I'm going to hold the assign button. I'm going to assign to the tune octave for oscillator 1. So as you can see, pitch 1. I'm going to let go of it, and then I'm going to just select that through the matrix. Click on that. Let me actually quickly check, because I might be missing something. MiniFreak. Are there any new firmware updates? Because if there are, then I definitely want to be updating, but I doubt it. I doubt there's any more firmware updates. Nope, there hasn't been one since November 2022. All right, sweet. I'm still waiting for the wavetable update, but yeah. So now we have full on range when it comes to the pitch, and I don't think we needed that high. I think this should be roughly enough, and then we can just adjust. And we can also hold shift and then change the curve. I like the other shift more. One thing I'm kind of weirded out about is that in the MicroFreak, you had more control over the curve, while here you don't really. Like it just switches between two modes, which is kind of doo-doo. But this should go. Now, next up, we're gonna add. We're gonna change the envelope to be a little bit more like this. And the reason why we want it like that is so we can distort it. So now I'm going to use a effect right here, and I'm going to pick the distortion, and I'm going to pick so I can hold select and then hold shift, which is all the way over there. So there's a big blue shift button. Just imagine there's a big blue shift button there, and I can change the type to be from classic to soft clip, for example. And what I can do now is I can essentially change the decay, and the more I change the decay, the more I can turn up the gain. So the longer I do the decay, the lower I have to turn the distortion, and the shorter I make the decay, the higher I can make the distortion. And I'm gonna just keep playing. I think I can turn on the arpeggiator, probably. And I remember that you can change the speed of this. I forgot, though. I'm just gonna make the tempo very slow. I'm gonna hold, so it keeps playing the same kick drum. Sounds slightly different every time, which is not ideal. And I'm going to change the distortion type. Actually, like classic the most. That sounds pretty good. Now let's change the amount. And this is the cool part, is like I can change the amount of pitch bend. and the decay at the same time, so I can control 2 buttons at the same time. That's why hardware is kind of superior in some cases. I think that sounds pretty good, because I still want to add a transient to this. So that should be enough. I'm going to just leave it at that. Now, I'm going to go to the second oscillator, and the first thing I have to do is turn up the volume of that. I'm going to switch that to be, I think, noise. Or we could do very extreme FM. Because as far as I know, if we use the same ratio and turn up the feedback, we essentially get noise. But we can also turn up the ratio, and it sounds pretty nice too. Now, we've already used the first cycling envelope, well, there's only one anyways. But the other thing that we have is the LFO. So we can actually use the LFO to create another envelope shape. So what we're going to do is I'm going to hold assign to, I'm going to move the volume of the second oscillator, and then I'm going to go to the matrix and select LFO1. So you can't see the modulation type, but this row right here is LFO. The top one is cycling envelope. Envelope 1 is now on assign to, which it should be. And then we're going to turn up the amount. And now we can just turn on the volume. And now you can hear the LFO is now active. Can you tune it to 432? You probably can. Probably. If anything, you can repitch it afterwards. Do you have a fix for this like super subtle can noise issue? It's changing when I move my mouse and sometimes extremely annoying. That sounds like a grounding issue. That sounds like, try a different outlet, power outlet. Try to not have everything on one power outlet. That sounds like that's probably the issue. So now you can see the LFO is active and is only on the noise. So what we're going to do is we're going to change this waveform. I'm going to change it to LFO1 wave shaper. And then we're going to hold shift and we can load a different preset here. So we're going to do short pulse would be an option. We can change the retrigger type, so we can retrigger 1, so it only triggers once. And then maybe we can change the speed until we can only hear transient. How awesome is that? Now we can also edit the LFO. So we hold shift and then hit select to edit the LFO. And now we can select the types that we want. So currently we have this one selected, so we're going to just switch it to that one. Oops, what did I do? There we go. Now we have just a chart and downward slope, which is kind of what I like. And I believe we can actually change the curve of that too. So we have to hold it, but I believe, and then you can see I can change the curve. Yeah, I'm going to turn it down like that a little bit. Oh, I'm going to have it up a little bit more. Sweet. Get out of the LFO selector. And the speed is 100%. So maybe that's a bit still too much transient for my taste. So I'm going to hold shift again, hit select, and then I'm going to reduce the amount. You can also hold the button. So it's in the kind of editing mode, and then you can just edit the volume and everything. This is such a brilliant LFO system. Such a brilliant LFO system. I love it. Hopefully you guys can see everything, because it should be very easy to see. Hopefully it's not as wobbly and stuff anymore, like in the first stream. Sweet. So now that we're done with that, we can now just work on the oscillator, and we can change a couple of things around. So maybe we turn down the ratio. Maybe we change the amount. Sweet, sounds good, right? What we can also try is maybe like a low pass filter. Just a little bit. Then let's try maybe a different oscillator, all in all. I mean, even the speech one could be interesting. This one's incredibly short though, so we might want to... Ooh, listen to that. That's quite unique. The fact is a power outlet. So that's essentially where your electricity is coming from, right? You have a cable that goes from your electricity wall thingy, power outlet thing, into your computer, so you can power it. That thing. Maybe you have too many things on one. Or it's like you have one device, electric device that is connected to that. For me, I actually had the same issue once. It was like a buzzing sound. And it was my mini fridge that was causing that issue. Yeah, you can see. So listen to that. That's a pretty sick little layer. But I want to actually kind of go for noise. I just want to go for just noise. And then I want to shorten this to the extreme. And then I think with the low pass filter, we can just roll off that transient. So now, I just want it to be white noise, and then I'm going to make it as fast as possible. And maybe we're going to lower the amount. So this is without it completely. And then just want to mix it in a little bit. The next thing I'm going to add is a EQ. So I can turn this on, and I'm going to use I think a free band EQ should be enough. I'm going to turn the high band up a little bit, and then I'm going to add one final distortion. Oh, there's another thing. I don't think the dry wet here was all the way up. Yeah, on the first distortion. So we're getting a little bit of background noise. So maybe the second distortion is actually not that necessary. Let's turn the gain down a little bit. So the noise seems to just kind of be part of the... of the distortion. I think we can lower it by maybe applying the amount to the same decay, which we have on the envelope. So we use assign free, just move the amount here. And then we're going to go to the main envelope, which is the second row. And then we're just going to apply some of that. So 100%, and then if I just roll back the amount. Sounds a bit nicer. You can also use the low pass filter, because after all, this is all post. And then yeah, this should just work. That sounds good. I think that kick is pretty solid. So I'm just going to go to Ableton and I'm going to record it. External input, record. There's a serum still in there. I'm going to take a look at the kick drum that we just recorded. It's a little bit too distorted. So I'm going to take down the... It's a little short too. Maybe we can even automate the gain instead of the amount, which I think, yeah, we're not doing that. So assign free is going to be the amount instead. Yeah, that's much better. A million times better, essentially. Wow, listen to that. Now, the amount is also set to 100, so that's a bit much. I think that sounds pretty good. Let's see if we can maybe turn up the volume a little bit on the noise. So that's the second. I think that sounds pretty good. Now, just looking at the waveform that I have here on we can also turn up the output. So you guys can really hear this. It's pretty heavy distortion still. But it sounds very solid. All right, I think we're gonna take that kick. Maybe we're gonna just edit the. Yeah, that sounds solid. All right, kick drum is done. Now you can piss off. Thank you. If you guys want to see what the kick drum now looks like, I'm going to put this to auto. I'm going to switch the screen to be this one. This is the kick drum that I've just rendered out. So you can see there's more distortion happening in the front of the kick drum. That's of high end. The noise is pretty much not audible anymore. I can't really see much noise, but you can see there's a little bit more of a, I guess, strength to the beginning. And you can hear it sounds pretty solid. So if I cut this, maybe delete it over here, and then maybe cut it over here, you now have a pretty solid trap kind of drum, kick drum. Like that. Press Ctrl J. Maybe cut this part out as well, because we don't really need that. Ctrl J. And that sounds pretty solid. You guys liking that kick drum? Schwere Sprache. Oh yeah. Sweet. Now let's go back to Alt 2, I believe. Let's design the snare drum. And for the snare drum, I think we have to be a little bit more careful. So I think we're going to do the transient using just the sine wave, and then we're going to use the noise as the tail. So let's do the sine wave first. In that case, we can't really use the envelope because that has to be for that. But what we can do is we can use one LFO for the volume curve of the body, and then we can use the cycling envelope for the pitch envelope. So I'm going to do that first. I'm going to go assign one is going to be directly tune. Easy as that. We're going to change that to be once again the tour operator FM, because we don't need any of this stuff. And once again, I'm going to turn on the ARP. I'm going to annoy you guys again. Let me find the speed. That's the swing. What's the speed of this? Oh, there you go. Sweet, easy peasy. Now it's just playing a sine wave. I'm going to use LFO1, and I'm going to assign number 2 on the volume oscillator 1, turn that down all the way. And then I'm going to assign LFO1, which is the third row right here, to assign number 2, and then let's turn that all the way up. I'm going to hold shift and change the retrigger mode to be 1, retrigger 1, and then when I load up the wave shaper, I'm going to change the preset to be short pulse, which is fine because it's just using 1. I'm going to edit that and change it to be a thing like this. Easy as that, right? Super easy to do. Now let's get out of that whole. Maybe we're going to actually increase the curve a little bit. Sweet. Get out of that mode. Make it faster. Sweet. Now, cycling envelope. Cycling envelope is going to be assigned to the pitch of of oscillator 1. I'm going to change the fall shape. Turn that up. Oops. And maybe we can use the same cycling envelope to trigger the FM. So we can generate a transient, because that's kind of how operator FM kind of works. So we're going to assign the timbre to assign number 3. And we're going to just turn that up to our liking. I'm going to yeah. So this is just for the transient. That sounds fat. You can change the pitch of this just using... Sweet. Now, number 2. We'll use the second LFO to do the shape for the tail. So number 2, we're going to assign... So now we have to actually switch the pages, and this is so good about MiniFreak that we can actually switch the page. So I'm going to hold Shift, and I believe we have to just click on page. So that's page 1, and then page 2 is empty. And now I can hit assign. I'm going to hold assign and do the volume. And now I'm going to go to the first one, and I'm going to use LFO 2. Once again, switch the LFO to trigger type 1. Switch it to a wave shaper, and then we're going to hold Shift again and then switch the type to be something else. And we're going to just use a shaper because that's the easiest. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into edit mode, so hold Shift and select edit. And the first one is supposed to be a fade in. And we're going to hold that and change the amount. Now the second one I want to be flat. I think we're done with that. So second one I want to be flat. Once again, all the way up with the volume. And I think we're going to do a third one that's also flat. Or might be actually turned down a notch here. And then the last one is going to be a fall. And that's just going to be a complete fall, like that. And just add that again. Let's see. It was a little difficult to set up. The fall probably has to be lower, so we're going to do fall number 4. Very intricate system, by the way. So I'm going to hold the button here until we can edit, and then I'm going to turn that down. Now you can see we can create that little fall right there. Let's edit this one. Go to edit mode, and then let's edit this one to be somewhat similar. So yeah, now you can see we can really like shape our LFO shape there. How sick is that? That's in hardware, dude. That's insane. Let's go back to the last one here and then just edit that until that shape looks pretty good. I wanted to kind of like roll off quite fast. Go to the next one. Keep editing it until it looks solid. That looks solid. Okay, sweet. Now let's switch the oscillator type to noise. Then do white noise, and now we can just change the speed. We click on the retrigger here. There you go. Let's get out of the edit mode. So it looks like we might have made this too long. So let's edit this again, remove one of these. And let's edit this one. Like that. Let's edit the first one and make that a little bit more extreme. Yeah, that's it. There you go. Now we have a really nice sounding snare. But currently, maybe a little bit too much high end. So now it's more like pink noise. Sounds a little nicer. And we're going to go into the effects. And the first one, and we can obviously change the tuning. Let's go to this one again and edit the LFO a little bit, because I want to change the... I think I've removed it. Oops. Edit that. Oh, that's the other one. That's clean. Now, I do not like how it ends. It's like the tail is a little too short for my taste. And that could be... It's not release based, so we need to probably add a third shape. So let's edit this one again. Make it lower. Yeah, that's it. Change the shape there. Go to the second one. Let's go to this one again. Make it even lower. Listen to that. Now that that's done, let's go to the effects. Turn them on. Oh, we're getting some nice free band EQ. I want to actually use the peak EQ here. And what I want to do is I want to use the same shape that we used for the white noise tail. And I'm going to apply it to the gain of this parametric EQ. So I'm going to automate the intensity here. I'm going to go with the LFO2, so it's the same one. And I can turn this down. And then I can change the frequency, which should be here. And then I think the width, I think this is the resonance, essentially. There you go. If you turn it off, turn it on. Pretty fat snare. We can turn down the overall volume by going to the first page again. That was LFO2. So that's actually the second page. And then go over here and change the volume of that snare. Yeah, those visuals are really cool, I agree. And then, big part now, we're going to start messing around with a multi-band compressor. That slaps hard. Now, what I want to do is I want this to be, because if I have the amount up, it's just too much. So I'm going to map that to the decay. So this amount here is going to be assigned, and then I'm going to go with the envelope. I'm going to just map that all the way. So now I can just turn this down and then add OGT to my snare. That's heavy. Listen to that. No OTT. How did you get the visual of the peak EQ showing on the screen? And just by changing it here. This is just the camera recording just twice and then cropped. Sweet. And now let's introduce OTT. Wait, this is the EQ. EQ. Oh wait, I think we changed it. Oops. Multiband compressor. Turn that down. Let's add it. Whoa. Third one. Do we need reverb? I don't think we need reverb. I think what we need is some good distortion. And once again, maybe we can assign, so we need to go to page 3. Maybe we can assign that timer to the envelope. And then turn that down simultaneously. Wow, that's heavy. Listen to that snare that slaps. Holy shit. And then I'm going to change the type. So the soft clip. Ooh, dude, germanium is heavy. I think we could go with germanium and then just like tone it down. Sweet. Now I'm gonna shut up with the ARP. And I'm gonna actually save this. Preset saved. I'm probably actually gonna rename it though. Can I rename the name of this? Oops. Save. Save cancelled. Preset volume. Preset. How do I wait for preset edit? Okay. I want to edit this preset. Oh, panel. Wait, what the hell is going on? Panel. I guess I just wait. What? Panel. How do I rename this? Does anyone know? What do you know least about the MiniFreak? I guess renaming presets. Now this might be clipping. Yep. I'm gonna turn that down. I think that that's a pretty good thing to record. That note is really nice. I'm going to start recording that. Sweet. I'm going to take a look at that. Oh yeah. Oh, okay. I can see just from the waveform. Let me check. That body is incredibly long. I'm going to go to the second here. I'm going to turn up the speed a little bit. And the first one as well. I think that's pretty good. That's pretty solid. I'm going to save this. Guess I can't rename it, or I forgot how to rename. Once again, I would love to know. I'm just going to save this to like slot number 300, so it's easy to remember. Now the white noise currently is mono, so what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to just take the same recording that I recorded twice, where it obviously sounds different, and then just pan just the white noise. But yeah, now we have our snare, so I can play this on Ableton. And we have our kick drum. Now, I don't think we need to really bother with the cymbals and stuff. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to switch to the other screen. And I'm going to figure out some kind of beats. So I'm going to go way over here because I don't know how to work with this. So this is our kick drum. So I'm going to drag that in. This is the kick drum that we recorded from the MiniFreak. And this is the snare drum. So I'm going to drag that in here too. And you can see a lot of transient information there, so we can probably push this a little harder. And then we're going to figure out what to do. So I'm going to turn that off. I'm going to turn this off because we don't really have to hear it. And 150 is probably fine. Let's add a kick drum. And then Control D. Then for the snare drum, I'm just going to pick the ones that I like. That one sounds really solid. I really like this one though. Maybe we can pitch the... Yeah, that sounds good. Now let's add some top loops. One's too fast. Let's use that one, or actually let's use this one and then put it to repitch. All right, we're gonna copy over the kickstart. Maybe make this a little tighter too, so we'll get rid of that. Put it on here, sync. Yeah, that tail there needs some work, I'd say. We can probably push the snare drum a little harder. Let's see. Where's my distortion saturator? I can see that we can probably roughly push this. Let's see how much more. We can probably push this like 6 decibels, looks like. Wow, that is a loud snare. Once again, the end section here is kind of mono. So what we could do is we could group this and use 2 other ones. And what we're going to do is we're going to just use them like this. And we're just going to pan them left and right. And we're just going to leave in the stereo information for the high end. So we're going to turn the fade up like this. And then we're going to high pass this for both of these. The key has to be down to 0 though. Then let's do. And then here, let's delete this one because we don't really need that one. Duplicate it. And then maybe choose this one. Let me use this one. Wait, why does it keep playing? Okay. Let's add maybe like a fade out to it as well. And then we just got to find the right one here to use, essentially. So. I can only hear this on my left. Oh, because they're both left. I'm stupid. Oops. Yeah, there we go. And now we just turn on the volume of these because they're way too loud. And turn this one down too. And we got stereo. So that's the cool part about like recording everything in analog and it all being kind of different is that we can do stuff like this. Now what I can do now is I can go back to my MiniFreak and we can start designing some bass sounds, and this is going to be fun. So the sidechain is already happening, which is great. I'm going to duplicate my kickstart though and make sure that this is only affecting the low end, and then the high end can be a little bit faster. I'm also going to turn on the cymbals a little bit because they're a little loud. And that snare is incredibly loud. Turn that down too. Turn these up a little bit again. But this one's actually using the same one. I'm stupid. Oops. Use this one. Just gonna have to make sure that we're not using the same ones here. And turn these down a little bit. And let's make sure that these are like properly set, because otherwise we're gonna get some weird stuff happening. There we go. Yeah, sweet. So now we need an input. So we're gonna load up a different preset. And when we keep playing this, audio is really delayed. Which audio is delayed? That might be, 1 second, let me check. Let me go back to screen. I think they have some manual delays in these. Let me check. Desktop audio. There shouldn't be any delay, actually. So the audio is really delayed, you say? Let me go back to... To change the preset name, click the preset encoder. You'll be shown the rename. The currently edited character will have small arrows. Sweet. Let me check. Sweet. Let me check. Sweet. That was pretty good, though. Let me check. Sweet. That was pretty good, though. Okay, wait. Now I don't know which one, what is what anymore. So, testing now. Testing now. It actually looks like it's playing before. That might be true, because I might have a filter on here. Yeah, I have a render delay. That's why. See, with this system, my whole PC is even faster now. Wowland, is this better now? Is that better? Should be really fast now. Sweet, perfect. So now let's design some basses, right? C, D, E. Let's go with a E, I guess. Better, yeah. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to switch and play this. And so the first things we're going to do from the beginning, just like we do with sound design, is we're going to set up the distortion and stuff. So I want FX1 to be whatever I want it to be. Or actually, I think FX1 is going to be OTT. So we're going to set up type OTT, multiband compression, intensity, tone all the way up, amount all the way up, and time can be kind of up. Sounds pretty good. The last one I want to be distortion. So turn the master volume to the dry wet all the way up. Sweet. So then we just have pretty heavy. Obviously, we get this like weird white noise, so whatever bass design that we're going to be doing, we're going to have to design that. So the first thing I want to do is I want to design a simple LFO shape. So I'm going to go with the LFO wave shaper mode there. I'm going to load up a user shaper. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change the volume of just the whole thing by using the sustain. So I'm going to turn the sustain down all the way. I'm going to assign that to assign 1. And then I'm going to go to cycling, actually LFO 1. So this is the third row right here. I'm going to select assign 1 and just turn that all the way up. So this turning down the sustain essentially allows us to just change the overall volume. I don't think you can actually still, yeah, you can't assign the master volume, which would be kind of cool to do. So now what I can do is I can go to my LFO here. Obviously there's nothing there, so what we're going to do is we're going to change the I think it's already on retrigger, but it's not on rate, so let's put that to rate, and then let's make that a lot slower. Let's make sure that we are in the tempo 150, because otherwise we're going to just get random stuff. And this is not synced with the DAW, right? So we're going to get some goofy stuff. But now, let's go hit Shift, select Edit, and now we can edit our slopes. So I'm going to hold rest that specific note. Currently, you can see we have a total of 16 bars of automation. That's a bit much. So I believe we can just hold Shift and change the amount to be, how was that? Where did that go? Yeah, you hold last step and then you can select how many you want. Currently, I think 4 will be enough. So now you can see we can easily edit that. So I want to do so I want like a bam, 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 something like that maybe. So I'm going to do a triangle like this first. Then I'm going to go down, and then I'm going to do 2 of these. Then I'm going to turn up the speed of that. So that kind of works. I'm going to go into edit mode. I'm going to edit these to be... I deleted it. Oops. Hold it. No. Hold it. There we go. Thank you. And we can't shift it towards the side, I believe. I don't think that's possible. That would be a cool feature if we could do that. Because we can't, that means we will probably have to go with 8 total instead of this many, because this is going to be pretty offset. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get out of that mode. I'm going to change the last step to 8. I'm going to do bam, 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 and then these are each going to get just like that. Now we can go to editing. So I'm going to edit that one, lower it, go to this one, lower that one too, then I'm going to go to this one, number 5, and I'm going to turn that up a little bit, and then go to the 6th one, and turn that down a notch. Hopefully this kind of works. I don't know if it will. Go to the first one again. It sounds like it starts from over there, which is a bit annoying. So, but let's just try and see if this works. Kind of, right? And then let's make this faster. Now, let's switch the oscillator, because it's getting very annoying as the sound itself. And there we go. This sounds awesome already, so let's go to assign 2, assign the timbre. we assign the cutoff here. To a bandpass. Now with the bandpass filter, we're obviously using the sub. So what we could do is we could send the second volume, but I'm not sure, I'm guessing that one's also getting sent to the filter, unless we can change that. Let's use the sign 2 here and set for the resonance. Edit that. And then let's change this to be a sine wave. There we go. Now, the distortion on the last one. Let's check out the main OTT again. So that's what OTT does. So what we want to do is we want to automate the amount with the same LFO. So we're going to go Shift Page 2, because now we're using already like a lot of these. And then we're going to go to LFO 1, and we're going to turn that up. So that's a much cleaner way to introduce OT2. And then the second effects that we actually left open, we want to start using a delay. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to switch that type to be a filtered one. And we can try having this one before the OTT as well. So we can make this one the OTT by making this one the delay. And I'm making this one OTT. So I'm going to automate the first one again. And this one. You can just change it to be just wondering why it's not coming. It's like not really being affected by the OTT, which is weird. So let's remove that instead and use multiband compression on here instead. And then we can use delay on here. sounds a little better. Now, next step is to do some LFOing. So I'm going to switch to the second LFO. I'm going to put it to 1, 2. I'm going to change it to be a triangle because that's usually more interesting. I want to change the time slightly. So I'm going to use assign 2. And then we'll go to LFO 2. I'm just going to slightly change that. You can even assign maybe the intensity of the feedback to assign number 3. I feel like we're losing a lot of high end. Time doesn't even make a difference here. But now you can see whatever input we use, whatever amounts of distortion we decide to use. Let's change the amount of two operator FM would be the one that does all the crazy FM stuff. Would sound pretty good. But there's another secret thing that we can do. So now, instead of using just the second oscillator as FM, what we're going to do is we're going to switch this to be FM from oscillator 1. So now we're going to set the waveform to be triangle. And we're going to go back to the first oscillator and turn the volume down all the way. And then when we turn up the timbre, you essentially get FM from oscillator B, and the I think the carrier is oscillator B, and then the receiver, no, it's the carrier and the, what's the other one? I forgot the name of it. Anyways, so now we can go with a very basic basic wave. So for example, super wave, just without any detune and any volume on that. And we can go up to like 24 semitones, or like 36. And we got those crazy screeches. And let's go with page number 3. That's our last page of modulations that we can do. Let's assign the timbre of that to the LFO 1, which is right here. That's LFO 1. So now we can really play around. So if we let's also go to the distortion, and the gain we're also going to map to an assign, and then do the same thing there to kind of get rid of some of the noise. Let's go back to the edit. So I'm going to go back in here. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to go shift, edit, actually I'm going to go back to that one. I'm going to edit these a little bit. Another thing that we can also do is we can just shorten this whole thing by 4, and then we just get this one shot essentially, and then we can just. Oops, I think I just turned that off. It's not what I meant to do. I want to really like shape this to be. So you can see now we're getting those like nicer rhythmy. And now we can maybe go slower with the LFO speed on. Mess around with these. But I'm wondering why the LFO2 is not oh, can we change it? So you can see we get a lot of really cool variations there. gonna change the type once again. I think now the intensity that we have, we have to check which one is the one that has the intensity. Time to, page 2, assign to intensity. This is the intensity. I think this is the one, yeah. So I want to reduce, is that the, okay. I want to reduce that one. I wanted to kind of play around a little bit more. If anything, oh, in fact, oh shit. That's perfect. I just started designing a rhythm bass in the MiniFreak and you just appeared. That's almost like too good to be true. Wie geht's dir? Ich habe gesehen, du hattest Geburtstag. Alles Gute, nachträglich. Ich bin hier gerade mit dem MiniFreak rumspielen. Ich habe es hingekriegt, das FM von Oscillator 2:1. Und das Problem ist, das Teil, das ist digital, aber halt Hardware. Aber teilweise ist es mir ein bisschen zu mit dem Noise Floor und so, was Multiband und so und Distortion angeht, finde ich, mussten sie nicht machen. Deswegen musste ich einen Haufen Sachen hier an der Matrix und so reinspammen. Das ist ein bisschen schade, hörst du jetzt, ne? Wie viel Noise da dabei ist. Aber klingt mega. Und ich hoffe, I'm just going to switch back to English. If any of you have used the MicroFreak before, that thing had wavetable import, which was insane. This thing, unfortunately, doesn't yet. It does have the 2 oscillator FM, which is nuts. But once they add the wavetable, which should be easy to do because it's just digital, right? This thing is going to be insane. Mir geht's auch gut. Sehr gut. Ich habe ja, hast du gesehen, das schöne Teil hier, der Qudelix. Warte mal, muss mal hier schauen. Das schöne Teil hier. So sieht es bei mir aus gerade. This is my setup. So I use the TMI2 wireless, which are these guys. High quality audio, like 60 milliseconds latency, and then that's gone into my Qudelix. And yeah, it's amazing, easy. If you want to look into if you've already treated your room with like your speakers, you might want to look at the let me share the screen here. Yeah, true. I feel like the noise is only really noticeable on the tail. Yeah, and you can technically cut that out later on too. Yeah, it's like weird that they even have it in. I don't feel like the weirdest part is they even have it in the digital version. So it seems like they purposefully like added it in, which I don't know why. But if you are looking at doing something similar to Qudelix for your speaker setup, you can get the MiniDSP, which allows for a 10-band parametric EQ on each left and right speaker, and I think even your like sub, because it has like a crossover thingy too for your sub. This is pretty cool because I showed this earlier in the stream. You can like go back to the beginning of like sweeping a sine wave between 30 and 300 hertz, and then just listening in your room which certain frequency areas would like get much louder because of the room mode, and then you would adjust that with a Pro Q3. And then you would have kind of like your own EQ curve so that you would have a smooth curve up and like a smooth frequency sweep up and down. And then you can just apply that to this bit, to this guy. And you can get very similar kind of like room correction. Because, you know, with like acoustic panels and stuff, usually the high end is fine. It's just the low end that's really annoying. Yeah, this is a much easier way. It's very manual, takes you like 20 minutes to do. But this is insane because it's all hardware. It's no like software set it up once first, then it loads it onto like the EQ is on the hardware, right? And you don't have to think about it anymore. That looks great. We have some peaks, especially around 100 hertz on my speakers. Exactly. In my old bedroom, I had a peak around 160 hertz, and that was like the sweet spot for snares. I just could never use it because of the room resonance. But with something like this is the cheapest thing I found. Unfortunately, there's nothing cheaper than that. You can see there's the input here and then the output for the speakers there. Once again, I stopped using speakers entirely because of this. Yeah, the mini USB is just for like plugging it into your computer, just to, I guess, like power it. I think there's another power option. Yeah, so this is the power option. So you plug in the mini USB, set it up with the EQ, then get rid of that and just power it with a DC bolt, I guess, thingy, like an adapter, right? It's just so good to know that there's a alternative that is not like super pricey, but you don't have to think about this anymore, which is great. And you have 10 bands, which is totally enough, especially for the low end. Because I don't know, I just can't deal with all the SoundID stuff anymore. It's so annoying. And like there could just be new things breaking with every update, which is the annoying part to me. Oh yeah, this is the bass that we just made. It's basic FM with a triangle to a saw wave. I can change it. It's pretty cool because you can like record this and like do things real time, right? This is kind of like one thing I noticed with hardware. It's like, oh yeah, I can like change the matrix like envelope LFO amount here while I also adjust the original signal at the same time. Like, you know, doing like double stuff like that. Yeah, SoundID is really, I don't know why they just don't make like, they already have their like, you know, like microphone, their like real thing microphone. Why don't they just make like a hardware device that like an interface even? Just make an interface that has both of them in, right? I think they offer some interfaces that have that integration, but those are like 3K, like 5K, like 2K, even 2K is too much. Like this Qudelix thing, that'll set you back like $130. And it's just plug and play after you set it up. You don't need any software. And then the MiniDSP is the same thing. It's like 250 or something. But you know, the benefit is you don't have to worry about anything anymore. Then yeah, also take a look at the LFOs here. It's really cool the way they did that. You get like a certain amount of like steps, and then you can edit all of these individually. You change the volume and then the slope. It's really cool. The MiniFreak is insane. The only thing it's missing, once again, is wavetable. Like if we had wavetables, this thing would just be insane. Let me edit that one again. That was sounded a little silly. Let me edit that one. So the volume peaks are. Yeah, disable that one. I hold it so I can edit it. So much fun. Edit that one again. Let me edit it, please. Oh god. Sometimes the controls are a bit weird. There we go. Maybe we couldn't even do like the number 6, then stronger. You can see the slopes are a bit weird. It's just like one kind of point there. I guess you can kind of see that. And it just kind of moves up and down. It's a bit odd. Like there's no like smooth slope between it. It's a bit strange. But yeah. And obviously you can just set it to be like less, like 4. And obviously the last thing I could just do is, you know, add some kind of spice from Ableton. Just a little bit of spice on top of that, because I don't think they can implement a disperser in here. Yeah, listen to that. So just doing some goofy stuff. That's kind of heavy. Needs more amp power. Yeah, I could technically like take off the distortion and the multi-compressor, and then just add amp power. That's what I was doing with the MiniFreak, the MicroFreak. But I like that this is just, Jesus Christ. 1 second, I'll need bus spray. Oh God. Sounds really weird too, because it's like applying the delay on the. They even have a type in here of filter, which is like a filtered ping pong. I have to time this. Also, the kick and the snare that you're hearing here, the kick and snare, that's coming from the MiniFreak. That's pure MiniFreak. Yeah, the delay is great. I'm gonna turn on the. It's really cool that you can like literally automate everything, like modulate everything. It's really nuts, and you get 3 pages of modulation. Like there's a total of 9, I believe. I think that's the total. Which obviously in the MicroFreak we only had like 3. Playing the note C, D, E. So I'm playing E. I believe I can load encoder onto this, and I think we get some pretty interesting results. This is gonna be nuts. I haven't tried this before, so I'm gonna load up encoder. Yeah. I'm gonna put that to C, C sharp, D, D sharp. I guess we're on C, D, D, E. Right, we're in E. So that's E. I think we need to get a little bit more of a straight delay because it's moving up and down, which is... But I feel like this delay is a little bit too... ping pong, there we go. I need to hit the right notes. Kind of works. Let me edit the EQ a little bit. Edit that, please. Thank you. I want to get it more like stabby, so I'm going to turn this first thing down and then. That's probably too much though. Let me turn it up a little bit. Hold. There you go. I just can't really hit the notes. I think if I had this in USB and MIDI, I could probably sync it somehow. Oh, this is. I'm also going to edit the shape at the end here a little bit to be a little bit more open. So I'm going to do that, and then number 3 is going to be further up. And this one needs to be further up. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Now, where the hell is my intensity amount? I guess it's on the first assign. It's cut off. I want to switch this to just C major, which would be A minor. So C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E. Oh, I can just put it like that. Just the timing is off, right? You would probably resample this and then use it that way. That's cool. Let's try some like reverb. Major C. Let me change the amount of it. Yeah, I just get like once again I need to sync this to the DAW, which would be difficult. Sweet. I wonder if there's a Maxo Live device that plays the sound on different notes and resamples each one to a multi-sample instrument. It's like a trigger, like a resample trigger that will like detect the transient and then whatever next transient it'll cut it there and then make that into like a one shot. You can also change the speed of that. Let's go. gonna make a static delay, and I'm gonna use the delay. Was it delay? And then I'm gonna use the filtered ping pong. So that means I don't have to go and search for the one that is filtered. So that's that's time. The second one, key intensity time 2. There we go. That needs to go. Sweet. Now we have. It's not loud enough. There we go. I have some movement on that FM, so if I take that up, it'll probably be a little cleaner with the let me see, NFL amount 1, that would be wave, so I'll probably have to go here, sustain, resonance, cutoff, timbre. I think that's it. If I take that off, wait, that was off anyways, to go over here, so that's that one right there. Take that off. Now it should be just a clean. I can also do ring mode at the same time of doing FM. I gotta go, but this was super fun to watch. Definitely want to tune in again in the future. Sweet. Sounds great. Hope you have a great rest of the week. I'll see you around. Well, let's make it heavy again. I think I want to take off some of the distortion on here, so that's time. To figure out where that was. Time 3, I think that's correct. Get rid of that. Actually, use some of it. But not all of it. Tell the truth. I think we've got to switch it back to the stereo ping pong. We can also try and use LFO2 to modulate the speed of LFO1. There's a big brain thing I have to do though. I guess assign rate of LFO1, so LFO1 sync, and then we use LFO2 to change the speed of that. So, but then that has to like make sense. So I have to probably use a wave shaper and load up a user shape of number 4. And then we have to go edit that shape. But this should be fairly simple. All you have to do is go last step. Let's do bum, 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 bum. Let's say, I think 2 should be fine. Wait, last step 2. And then all we do is that. That should be it. Let's make that. Hello, lead Q. Yeah, it actually works. There you go. But it's like slightly off. Because this isn't in sync. Okay, there we go. So we're gonna bum. Wait, I think this is not retriggering correctly. Let me check. Yeah, I don't think this is retriggering correctly. So this needs to retrigger. Not retrigger free, that's the wrong one. Poi. There we go. And now maybe we can even move around the so let's play that. I want to use macro 1 to change the pitch of just LFO1. So we have an open slot here, tune, and I'm going to go to the macros, the wheel right here, as you can see. That's the wheel one, the mod wheel. And turn it up. Drop 4 semitones. Might be a bit much, so I'm going to just do 1 semitone, so we get some nice kind of and then let's mess around. I don't want this filter to be too like aggressive, so I'm definitely going to switch it back to filtered ping pong. Now, I also know that there's a type of send, and I don't remember how you would set that up. I forgot. I think you just go to sound edit, and then you go to effects. And then delay routing, you go from send to insert, I believe. And then that way, we now get a dry wet, which is much easier to mix than the send. It's much louder too. So they turned 0 into a hardware synth. Exactly. That's basically what's happening. How about we go like a bum 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 bum. So bum 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 bum. How would we do that? I mean, we could write the whole thing in the LFO thingy. So matrix routing, LFO one sync. That's it. Be gone. We're going to use a very, very simple way to do it. We're just going to use this as a performer, essentially. So last step, we're going to do 16 again. And we're going to get rid of all these. So yeah, they're all gone. And then, bam, 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 bam. So let's play that. That's way too fast. These are way too turned up. So let's get rid of these again. Bam, bam, bam. Yeah, and then make that a little faster than that. Bam, 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 bam. Bam, bam, bam. Bam, bam. Sure, let's go with maybe something like that, and then so that's 16. And what we could do now is we could do a pitch bend that we can also just automate. So we go to the second LFO and let's do the global pitch, which would be super easy. LFO 2, and then we have pitch 1 and 2 all the way over here. You guys can't see it, but I'm just gonna do like a semitone, probably. Should be enough. That sounds kind of cool though. And let's go ahead and put this to 1.8, I believe. But I want to edit this to be a total of 16 steps. So then, or actually we could just do, let's just do 2. And then we do 1 over there, and then 1 over there, and then we have slower. That should work. Now I'm gonna hold this here, and the first one is gonna be, hold. Thank you. One like that, and then the other one as well. A little bit less like that. Okay, cool. And now we can just set them up. And then we can also map the time again, and then use LFO tool there as well to get some creative, maybe counter movement. to shift. We have one more open slot here for the feedback. Good evening to you. Honestly, with the like processing here, I'm not even able to make this like fully stereo anyways. So I wonder if that's even like necessary. And with this filter type is mono. It's supposed to be stereo. I'm only outputting one. There we go. That's the stereo part. That feels a little bit more like dimensional, right? I definitely would like a So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to basically just record a bunch of one shots and then just make a thing out of it. So that means that I'm going to be getting rid of some of these intensity. No, that's fine. Level 1. Intensity. Shift. I don't think I've ever changed these, so it's probably the third one. Pitch, yeah, so that's wheel though, that's fine, but LFO2 needs to go over here. I'm gonna switch the other one, and I'm gonna go edit that LFO shape. I'm gonna only use let's use only like 4. Let's make these two the same, and then let's make that one there, that one, and then that one, that one. Come on, sweet, and there we go. Now we can kind of edit these. So I want there to be a little bit more of an input like that. This one is supposed to be much lower anyways. More like that. And then more of a curve. And then that one is supposed to be lower. More of an upwards curve. Not really possible, but let's see. You should sound fairly good. Sweet. Now get rid of that. Delays. It's not fully like FM right now. I think that's because of the ring mod. And the so now we have our main bass. We give it some distortion. It's a nice kind of stereo because of the delay filter here. Sounds very nice. Now we can change the speed of that just by That's really cool. I like that. Less distortion. Maybe a little cleaner. A little bit more. We're going to do a song together. That's what it sounds like. I want to assign the right here to the mod wheel. I think that will sound really cool. So all the way up. Turn the swing all the way down and now. Now the actual like delay stays relatively I can hear like a change. What's going on here? There's still like an LFO2 happening on the pitch here. Okay. I'm blind. You guys can't see it anyways. Let's get some nice distortion in here. Maybe some unison. We can also turn this into like a trigger. So we just go shift, and then we change this to be a trigger 1. And then it just triggers once, and we can mess around with it. So CD, let's record E notes. So I'm going to record that. That's all going to be our first kind of sample one shot. But there's different ones we can get. Nice, so there's different versions that we have now. And I want to do like a point. So I'm going to change the yeah, and then we add enough. The reverb is probably too strong. Oh, that one's good. So we have different versions of that as well. And then maybe let's do some search it again. Whoa, where's the sub at though? Well, that sounds pretty good. I want the first one to be more like a stab. So I'm going to edit this shape here to be much more like a stab. And then we're going to record one of these. One of those, and then maybe we'll play around with the delay. Play around with the FM. Turn on the feedback. We have another bass, and then maybe we do one more screech, maybe? Maybe a really slow one. Let's add some distortion. That's pretty fat, but we need like more low end. Let's record that one. Sweet. And then I want to just do like one final like screech, like a pew. So I'm going to just clean up the preset because that one's going to be a lot easier to do. I think we can literally go with like a LFO2 can just be a one shot, please. One. And then we do pitch 1 and 2, LFO 2. Let's turn this one off. Sweet. Turns on. Let's do some FM for some distortion first. This is usually a good kind of combination too. Usually some distortion, then multiband, some multiband compression, some more distortion. And now we can go and just go turn this one on again. And this one I want to be the what is it? this one. And we need cycling envelope. We'll turn up the rise. We're going to turn up the sustain. And then we're going to map the timbre to assign 2. I'm going to go to cycling envelope, assign 2. I'm going to turn that up quite a notch. Make that faster. There you go. Maybe we can have the first one be like a bit crusher. Let's do like a simple ping pong delay so we can get some stereo in there. I guess this has to be... Actually, the sound... And we'll have to switch it again to be effects, delay, routing, insert. Let's distort the shit out of it. Sorry for the volume. That's pretty good. That's pretty solid right there. Right there. Let's record that. Number one, and then we'll do another one that's a bit more, less volume on that, and then more chamber. Does it not go higher than that? Shit. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to record this, and then I'm going to move that one knob. I'll do that. Sweet. Alrighty, then we have a bunch of basses that we can work with. I'd say we switch to Ableton and get started doing some phrasing. So I'm going to use some back effects because I can't be bothered right now doing everything from scratch. I'm going to go with this one. Would you recommend the MicroFreak over the MiniFreak? I would recommend the MiniFreak over the MicroFreak. There you go. Let's go with one of these. I like this one a lot. Oh God, I gotta like really weirdly work with my keyboard here. 1 second. Very weird setup right now. That's just these two. No. Let's normalize this to be 0. And then bum 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 bum. Let's do these a little louder. Let's do a Control J on this one as well. And then maybe we'll do a Complex Pro on this because, woo, I just did some weird shit. Okay. Wait, did I? Oh, I'm stupid. Wait 1 second. Let's take this one instead for now. Bum, 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 bum. So like maybe like a guess this volume roughly. Complex Pro, Control J. A little louder, switch it to Complex Pro. Bum 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 bum. We have another one. Let's take this one. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Something like that. Make that one really short. Oh, that was actually correct. I just need to change this to be Complex Pro. And let's just put like some limiter on this and just make these all kind of the same volume, I guess. Where's my limiter at? There we go. Put in a threshold of like minus 6, so we just have a similar volume and everything. Boom, boom, bum. I need like a triplet. Bum. It's too much already. Bum. Did we looks like we might have let's check. Yeah, oh god. I think we lost our oh god. I think it's in user library, presets, nope. Samples imported. Nope, that's not it. Where's my stuff? Right here, this is all the recorded stuff. That's it. I wanted to use another one here. Oh, I can feel it. I think I might get ill. I can feel it. There we go. Sounds pretty sick, right? And then I think the sub isn't all that clean. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cheat a little and just write a separate sub to this. Because why not? That would be too complex anyways. N sub. We are in, what's my C0? C sharp, T. That's E, so we're in E. And now we can really play around with multipass. So let's load up. I'm using VST2. Let's wait. I kind of want to stay to the original though. I don't want to change it too much. And then maybe we'll take this bass right here and then paste it in here. It's probably too long though, so let's do paste it first. Then move it a little bit. Bam. we have like a nice simple A to B section, and we can obviously try out different. That sounds very nice. Now we can also try and make this color base. So we'll just go in color if we want to. But then we definitely want to mess around with shifter. So I'm going to write a little MIDI note to this. That's what I'm going to write. Yeah, that's it. And then all I do is I drag that over to, drag that over here and then send that to Snapheap. So that would be what would that be? 8 audio. And then we turn down the C0 to B0 and there we go. That's an octave lower. And then maybe we can distort that a little bit so we can hear more of the stuff. So we'll have to probably do a we're in E, so we're going to put that onto the back effects as well. So Snapheap, put that on there as well. And color. And now we can play around with the shift, with the fine. So yeah, that's basically it. Put some grain delay on it. You can totally do that. maybe add some noise to all of this because it feels like it's making it sound like top end. And now obviously we can write some kind of melody. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, 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 bum. Thank you very much. Yeah, it was a good idea, Tess. I think this needs to go like lower earlier. Let's bring back the MiniFreak. This is silly. I need like a nice pad to go with, like a lead. Sequence, pad, I think pad. I'm going to cuckoo right here. This is what we're doing, Sharks. All these basses that you can hear right here, obviously I've processed them now, but these were all made with the MiniFreak. And any of these here that you can hear right here are all kind of just, you know, sped up with Complex Pro. It's all MiniFreak. Let me turn on the Curtis limiter because of that one. All is really missing, or what in MiniFreak is really missing, is a wavetable oscillator. That's all it's missing. So I'm going to turn on all the colory stuff again. Because I want to add... This is what I hate when I'm not writing in what's it called? Wait, I can actually, you know what? I have the option to do stop Where's my options for scale configuration? Scale. Let's make it a minor, and then root is E. Now I can't go wrong with the notes. Yeah, scroll back a little when I join to check what is gone. Yeah, sweet. That's a bass. Some pretty good sounds in here. And maybe switch to color house. Color house. Oh, we could switch it up. Yeah, totally. But I would have to not use the snare though for a second. This shit is powerful if combined with the right poos. Dude, if you add like distortion to that, that's gonna be insane. Holy shit. Like if we switch this to the germanium clipper. It's kind of nuts. Okay, that preset is so silly though. Oh, this one's lovely. Let's use it on this one. Oh, that one's great. Scale config, scale, minor, root, E. Let's go. Reminds me of like really old, like either Skyrim or Oblivion music. Like the pad, not the dubstep. Is it using all the effects? Yes, it is. That one's really cool too. Let's try that one. I actually want to use... That was a little bit silly. Keys. Previous one? Oh yeah. Yeah. This is like... That's sick. I need the right sound for this. I need more of a key. Or like a pad. Whoa. If you ran that through Encoder, I think that would sound insane. I'm going to copy that over real quick. Let's run that through Encoder and see what happens. Is it active? Let's see. No, it's not active. Why is it not active? Why is it not active? Maybe it's not going in the right... Oh, I think now it's active. Yeah, now it's active. Whoa. Wow, that's crazy. Okay. That's kind of nuts. So this is without it. What's with it? So goofy right now. Let me reload that. It's lovely. But yeah. We can even try using like less of rain color. Sweet. Although if you guys want to know, you can make snares with this. I have this preset number 300. That's where I saved it. And it sounds like this. Pretty damn solid, right? There's everything on here. There's a sine wave. And I can actually, yeah, I think the sine wave has FM to generate the transient and pitch envelope. You have the noise coming in with its own LFO. Then you have a peak EQ. It's adding like that. Then you have the multiband compressor, making it fat, and then distortion. And I can always go in and like change stuff around. Can change the length of the body. change the length of the... Pretty damn solid. But yeah, slowly starting to feel a little weird because of my, I think I might have caught something. Hopefully it's not Corona, but I'm feeling a little weird. So I'd say we end the stream there. This was super fun. We've made some really solid stuff. And then once again, if we turn off all of the colorfulness, we get this. I just gotta fix this. No, right here. No, not tracking, please. Turn off the shifter. So, very solid. There's no like power rack on any of that. That's all recorded from the MiniFreak. Once again, I'm absolutely gonna make another live stream on this, but I'm definitely gonna be making a live stream when they add the Wavetuber user. That's like a must. Once that's in here, man, perfect. Yeah, other than that, this stream was super fun. I hope you guys were able to take a look at the Qudelix DAC amp. If you guys want to have something like SoundID, but be hardware and not software dependent and all that kind of crap. And then the MiniDSP if you want to treat your room a little bit better. And then of course the MiniFreak, which was super fun to do. This live stream was super fun. The setup is insanely annoying. Just having the camera up there and not having it jiggle around and stuff all that much is so difficult to do. But this is a great setup. It was a nice investment into this little guy here that I got like 2 years ago. But yeah. Other than that, I hope you guys had fun. And first time making it to the live stream. Thank you so much for all your efforts. Thank you very much. You came in just when I announced I'm going to stop the live stream. I'm pretty sure if we put like a reverb on that, it sounds pretty nice. But yeah, other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I saw most of the whole thing. Oh, that's great to hear. Sweet. So you were in here. Sweet. I hope you guys enjoyed this week's live stream. I'll probably be on again next week. Next month there's going to be a big like kind of collective sample pack from all the samples from the Patreon, all in one, renamed, etc. With obviously the 12 sample pack as well. So that's going to be a ton of fun. And the color base, well, I already spilled it. The sample pack for this month is coming out by Sunday. And that's going to be color based. But yeah, other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this live stream, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.